Hi everyone, I am Lenox.
And I'm Leska.
I am the Justifier of Innocence, and I was created to save humanity by Zeus and Demeter. Now, just to give you a little bit of a background on what the story is about. So, Lenox was born through a human surrogate, and her parents, Zeus and Demeter, they're gods and they're not allowed to interfere with what's going on Earth. But Demeter, being the Earth Mother and the goddess of empathy, she can't stand by and just watch us destroy ourselves. So she convinces Zeus to create a daughter, and they go back and forth, but she finally convinces him that if they do it through a human surrogate, then this daughter will grow up to be able to save humanity from ending itself. So that's what they did, is they found this human surrogate, and she was raised just like a regular human girl. She had no idea that she had powers. She had no idea that she was a goddess, and no idea about her destiny. Once her parents passed away, her powers started to peak out. And one day, how she realized she had powers was she was driving down the road and she seen this man hurting a dog. And she, having an animal sanctuary is what she did for work, where she would save animals. She was horrified by this incident, and she stopped the Jeep and yelled to the man to stop. When she did that, this surge of power came from her, and the man started to convulse and he fell to the ground. And she didn't know what was happening, so she grabbed a dog and just took off. So what was happening is that the man was reliving everything that he was doing to that dog. So being a super empath and having Zeus's powers, she's extremely powerful. She can create lightning just like Zeus. She is very, very strong. When she turns into Lenox, she's 7'4", just huge Amazonian glory. And she doesn't believe that death is a punishment. She feels that if you live through all the evil that you've done and live through the pain that you've caused, both emotionally and physically, that you will repent. And if you don't repent, then you stay in that state of mind forever, going through all the evil that you've done to others. So her main focus is she wants to defend the innocent. That's why she's the Justifier of Innocence. So anyone who doesn't have a voice, like children, animals, the elderly, people who cannot fight for themselves, she will fight for them. And she will take things on a larger scale as her powers develop and deal with real world issues like war and child rings. They can't say certain words. So, when children are being hurt by bad people, she will uncover those rings and get justice for those kids. So as her powers evolve, she not only can inflict the pain that these people have gone through, these innocent victims, on the perpetrators, but she can take away the pain and not erase the memory. The victims will still remember that something happened, but they won't feel all the pain, and they will be able to function like a normal life. So it won't debilitate them. So she goes, after she finds out who she is, she's gonna go through a series of training where she discovers what her goddess uniform is, which I'll show you in a minute. And she develops a team, and Leska, being her aunt, is one of the key characters on this team. So each week when you join me, each week we will have different stories. Not all of them will be in the series. Some will be impromptu, depending on what your requests are. And I'll explain that in a minute, so stay with me. So this is the book. This is going to be available for sale on Amazon and all major booksellers. It's Lenox Justifier of Innocence. It is a graphic novel. Each book has 2 parts, so each book is going to have 2 parts of the series. And as you go through, you'll see there's some illustrations, and I had it customized so it's easy to read. And it'll really like pull you in and invoke emotion and hopefully get you invested so that you will want to see what's next. And on this channel, it'll be a little bit interactive so that you can participate. So in the comments, like if you've seen something on the news, for example, and you know, a child got hurt or some big fire or something, and it really bothers you, you can tell me about it, and I will write a little storyline just for that, and we will get justice, even if it's in our fantasy. It helps you feel like you are making a little bit of a difference, and it just gives you that feel good feeling that you were able to get some justice. So each week it'll be completely different stories. Some of it will be little excerpts from the book. Some of it will be from the stories that are being currently written and going into publishing now, so that you get a little bit of tidbits of what's gonna go on in this, like a preview of what's gonna go on in the series in the future. So I hope you will join us each week, and it'll be fun. And just a reminder that even though some of these stories will are familiar to you, everything is fantasy. These characters are not real. We're not going out there really, you know, putting people in trances and making them relive torture that they put others through. So
you won't see us outside.
Yes, it's not real. You'll see us outside at book signings and fairs and probably Comic-Con, but you won't see us really out there crime fighting. It's just a fantasy so that we can feel like we're making a difference on a grander scale. And you know, sometimes when you're watching the news, it can feel kind of hopeless. So this is just a way to make you feel like there is hope, and that people can change, and that we can make a difference in humanity and make the world a better place together. So with that, I am going to just go over like what my uniform is, so that you have an idea of. So this is the uniform when she turns into Lenox. Since she's a goddess, her uniform is all white and gold. These are gold. They represent metal, so that she can defend off of, you know, guns or even knives or whatever weapons any perpetrator tries to use on her. Now her main weapon of choice is the crossbow. So this crossbow has golden arrows, and these arrows are tranquilizers. So like say there's some perps running away, she wants to catch them, and doesn't think to engage the jets in her boots, which I'll show you in a minute. She can shoot them and they'll just fall asleep, and then she can apprehend the perps and punish them accordingly. So that's the main weapon here. And then we also have her armband. Now this armband, I'm originally from New England, from Massachusetts, so I created, this was supposed to be Brady's Super Bowl rings, so I could not find little like toy Super Bowl rings, so I ended up just getting these little gold footballs to represent, each one represents one of his Super Bowl rings, and then just the number 12 goat for Mr. Brady. Yes, because I am a fan, so don't judge me. And so each one is a different weapon. So one is a laser, one is like a zip line, one is like a smoke bomb, and so forth. So that's what she uses those for. And these belt here it holds weapons. So I'll have like a taser, some brass knuckles, all that good stuff in there. And our boots the golden heels are jets. So she can engage those if she really has to get like across the country really fast. She can move undetected over mountaintops and get to her destination and do what she needs to do. The other thing is now all of them get this tattoo, everybody that's on her team. So as the story evolves, she does create a team, and each by the fourth series, all of her team members will be established, and you'll meet every single one of those team members. They all have different powers. They're not gods. Some of them are regular humans. Some of them are mutants, just superheroes that have been living undercover, waiting for Lenox to come of age so that she can lead them in the fight to save humanity. So all her team needs to be protected. So when she turns into Lenox, this cross appears on her back, and it's a little rough because I was having a little trouble with the transfer paper trying to put the tattoo, but I'll perfect it for you. But the cross in the middle says, "In God I trust," and that protects her. They all have that on their back, and it protects them from evil. Because though she's a goddess, she can be severely injured because she was born through a human womb. So that'll help give her an extra layer of protection to protect her from all the perpetrators so that she can't be as easily hurt. The other thing I wanted to introduce you to is Mr. Buddy. That's the dog that she saved. Now, Mr. Buddy will play a significant role, and that will be discussed in the fourth part of the series. Right now, she just thinks he's, a dog that she saved, but he is going to play an integral part, and he will be on this channel as well because he's always with me. And he's passed out at the moment, but I will show you. He's like right there. That's Mr. Buddy. He's equipped with a white and gold cape, and he's got some powers of his own, and we'll introduce you to that later on. Now, with Lexa, with her uniform is also like a shield. It creates a barrier around her so that bullets can't touch her, knives can't penetrate. She just presses that, and this barrier will circle her because since she is not a goddess or a mutant, she's a regular human being, so we want to protect her at all costs and make sure that she doesn't get injured during the fight. So her boots are also part that makes her move really fast, and she also gets the cross on her back that will appear, so also to give her that extra layer of protection if she ever doesn't have time to engage her shield. So we're going to read you a little bit of the book so you have an idea of the style of writing and what to look forward to. So as the days passed, I was becoming one with my powers, increasing my strength, and all of my senses were heightened. Amalia and I were at the sanctuary, wrapping things up for the evening, when we hear the news talking about these dairy farms in Florida torturing cows. They were playing small clips of video they took while engaging in these horrific acts. I instantly felt enraged, hurt, and confused. Amalia felt the same. We spoke of what we would do. How can we make this right? And a few days later, we hear of a couple who were hurting 13 kids that they gave birth to, depriving them of food, doing unspeakable acts, and mentally destroying them. All while teaching children in our public school system, going completely unnoticed.
Storms were brewing all over. Fires in California, a North Korean tyrant starving and killing his own people, afflicting fear to the world with threats of nuclear weapons and antagonizing war. I felt distraught, helpless, angry, and sad. We have to do something to have things change.
The next morning at training, Ogard could tell that something was bothering me. I expressed my concerns and how I wished I could do more. I set up my animal sanctuary to do some good, to save animals and provide a place where elderly, children, and people with disabilities can come and play with animals, feed them, and feel like they have a purpose. A safe, happy place to make a difference. But it's not enough. With all these horrible things happening in the world, the storms, the earthquakes, the fires, floods, mass shootings, terrorism, threats of war, the unraveling of our law and order, all of it's happening at once. I feel as though evil is winning and the scales are tilted, and somehow we need to restore the balance.
Come with me. I need to show you something. Amalia, you come too.
So I'm going to read you a little bit more from another section of the book. This is from the part 2. It's titled A World in Chaos. And then after we finish reading, we are going to say goodbye for today. And we hope to see you next week. Come join us so that you can take part in our little adventures. Every week it'll be something different. Sometimes it'll just be her and I. Other times it'll just be me. And at times we're going to have other guest stars playing different roles so that you can get familiar with all different characters in the storyline. So let's go. Ogard scheduled them to get more training later. Josephine still had a lot to learn about the power of Lenox. Amalia and Leska need training on their fighting skills and weapon skills. Josephine decided to go for a walk through the forest to clear her head. She still had so many unanswered questions about who she is and her powers. She needed to have a better understanding of her purpose so that the most good could come from her missions. As she walked through the forest, her mind went into a meditative state, and soon she felt like she was floating. And when she slowly blinked her eyes, there was Demeter. Demeter took her hand. Your heart is heavy, my child. Your purpose will become clear with each mission. Trust in yourself and let your feelings rule your power. Your heart is heavy because there is so much turmoil in the world and you want to fix it. One day at a time, one mission at a time. That's how you will fix it. With every innocent person that you help, you are sending the power of positivity through the world and the universe will respond. Don't worry about the big picture right now. It'll all come together. You possess my empath abilities and Zeus's strengths and powers, your Earth Mother's intuition, and your own fire. Use your pain, your love, and your intellect. Once you harness all your strength, you will be the most powerful. And no one will be able to stop you from saving humanity. I opened my eyes and she was gone. As I headed back to the house, it began to rain. Josephine jumped right in with the ladies and picked up a baton and went after Ogard jokingly. He began to spar with her, complimenting on how far she's come and when she managed to knock the weapon out of his hands and pin him up against a tree.
Josephine to Ogard. I want to learn how to control my ability to make the ground shake. Ogard. You not only can make the ground where you are shake, but when you tap into the inner workings of your mind, you can make the earth shake and split the ground like an earthquake and shifting plates. Let's go into the forest and practice, ladies. Take a break and come with. They will walk into the forest and stop. When they arrive at a clearing, there were little trees and big boulders. Ogard. We're going to start by having you shake and split the boulders. You have to really focus on the boulder. Let everything else fade into the background. Forget the trees, the ground, us, everything. Let that all be a blur.
Josephine took a deep breath and began to focus. She zoned in on one boulder and tried to let the rest of the forest fade out. She was thinking about the pain and the fear those children must be facing and so the ground began to tremble. So that'll do it for this week. We hope that you come back and let us know in the comments below, if you will have any stories in mind that you would like us to write a little script for. I will certainly be happy to do that. And I will be announcing when this will be available for purchase. This is the first printed copy, so it's not available for purchase just yet, but it will be in the next week or so. So I will let you know when that is out and where you can purchase it. And this just gives you an idea of what the story is about and what our adventure is. So hopefully you will come and join us on our adventure and we can all kick butt together and save the world. God bless, and we'll see you next week.
Peace and love.